I'd like to welcome everyone to our meeting tonight, Tuesday, February 27th, for our Bountiful City Council meeting, and we are grateful to have Dan Bigelow here that will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please rise and join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We are so lucky tonight to have Blythe Bigelow here, who is giving us her speech. She entered a First Amendment rights speech, and so we are excited that she's willing to come and present that to us tonight. So we'll turn the time over to you, Blythe.
Okay, let's see. All right. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here tonight. Before I give you the speech I came here to give you, I want to give you a tiny bit of history on the speech. So first, I want to say two things that I'm really hoping to do tonight is share my appreciation for our First Amendment rights with you, and maybe to teach you a little bit about people who don't have those rights, particularly people living, who have lived or are living in communist China, because the second part of the speech competition I did was to recognize those and all the people who have suffered through that. So I'm not sure how familiar you all are with Mao Zedong, but he came into power as China's leader in 1949. He ruled until his death in 1976. And during that time, he instituted several policies for what he saw as the good of China, including plans like the Great Leap Forward, in which people were moved onto farming communes while their agricultural implements were melted down for cheap steel, in an effort to essentially shortcut industrialization. And it resulted in one of the largest famines that we've ever seen and the deaths of millions. Plans like the Cultural Revolution, where children were mobilized in groups called the Red Guards. In an effort to revitalize China, they were encouraged to turn in their parents and neighbors and friends for saying the wrong things or wearing the wrong clothes. And as one final point of reference, I'm sure we're all familiar with the tragedies of World War II, the estimated 16 to 31 million people who died under Hitler. And it's estimated that between 40 and 80 million people died under Mao Zedong. And I tell you these things because it's my experience that here in America, we really don't spend enough time talking about this. So it would be my ask of you to please keep this history in mind as I give you my speech. I am a 16-year-old American girl who's never been further from the United States than Mexico, but who wants to go far and make change. A girl whose childhood was built on the foundation of assumption that with gumption and grit, I could raise my voice and make change. A voice that speaks not only in the absence of fear, but to a government that hears my voice and does not discount it as unimportant, but makes choices that are changed by me, a 16-year-old girl who, until last year, had never heard the name Mao Zedong. I am one of millions of American students who, growing up in an American-centric world, remain ignorant of the struggles of our Chinese peers, never guessing their fears or their burden of silence. Growing up in America, I was told, if you see something, say something. Be bold and notice the flaws. Know the laws and know when the laws need to change, and say something. Do not ask, demand. I can demand change from my leaders, which, needless to say, may sound strange. To another 16-year-old girl on the other side of the world, whose mother remembers the terror and violence in a silence filled with noise but empty of change, whose father remembers a time even he turned on his parents and declared war on so-called bourgeoisie while we, the world, watched Chairman Mao's play and red guards closed red curtains on the real show backstage, we applauded the actors and cheered for their lies as they made their great leap and dressed children as spies. And maybe the 16-year-old girl on the other side of the world doesn't know. Maybe her parents won't say. What is there to say? With no one to listen and no right to demand change. Today, it is us who must speak for those behind the red curtain. It is us who must be the voice of the silenced. It is us who can, who must demand change. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Blythe. That was beautiful. And we certainly understand if you need to go, but thank you very much for being here tonight. That was excellent. We will now turn to our public comment period. We'd love to hear from anyone that would like to make a public comment. If you would like to, please come and state your name, and you have 2 minutes. Seeing none, we will consider approval of minutes of the previous meeting held February 13th, 2024.
I'd like to make a comment, if I may.
Please.
On page 4 of 5 of the minutes, in and about line item 37 or so, I'd just like it to be noted that I mentioned that our concrete should last longer than a year. And that we should, if it isn't, we should know about it, and we should make changes in the future.
I remember you stating that. So
It was probably hard to follow, just like it was tonight, but I mentioned it because it was important to me, that I think our workmanship needs to stand the test of time. So,
May I have a suggestion?
sure.
I know that this was an important point for Councilman Bell, and he wanted to make sure it was reflected in the minutes. And I know it's always easier from the staff perspective if we can provide the language we think should have been inserted or corrected in the minutes. So perhaps we could hold off on approving these minutes, bring them back at our next meeting, so that would give Councilman Bell and staff time to come up with a line to insert into these minutes that would make sure that his thoughts were reflected and captured for the record.
I like
So
it.
moved.
Great. With that, I would make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Actually, I
Well,
think
actually,
we're making
Not
a motion
motion
not to approve.
I
the minutes.
agree, sorry, thanks.
I'll second Richard's motion to postpone the minutes till our next meeting, March 26th.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We will now move to council reports. Councilman Murray.
Just a couple quick updates from the Bountiful City Service Committee. We want to thank those members of our CERT teams that completed another test of a mock disaster. The Emergency Response Council also wanted me to announce that on March 28th at 7 o'clock at South Davis Junior High, they'll be doing classes on first aid response. So if you want to get your skills updated on first aid, they'll be doing those classes. Also, and I'll probably do it closer to this as well on our next one, but it'll be too close for anyone to take advantage of the fundraiser for our Music in the Parks. On March 29th, Toast, Bread Well Done will be performing again, and tickets are on sale on their website, and it sounds like they're going quickly, so, but that's an announcement from that committee.
Great. Thank you for that. Councilwoman Price-Hewish.
I just have an announcement about the bunny hop. Easter is coming early this year, and so the bunny hop is just around the corner. Actually, before our next meeting, it will be on March 23rd at the Bountiful Town Square, and all the kiddos and families and everyone's invited, and it's from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. and it's sponsored by the Bountiful City Youth Council, and they are really excited. There's going to be all kinds of activities, but of course, the main event is the egg hunt. So put that on your calendars.
Thank you. I'll just make a note that hopefully everyone can attend their neighborhood caucus a week from tonight, March 5th. For voting in either political party. Also, just as a report, we had a South Davis Fire District meeting this week, and part of that was we approved some updated policies and procedures. There are 87 firefighters there that require ongoing training and recertification. Also, they talked about a fire school that they're going to invite elected officials to. So for anyone who's interested, there's a fire school that will be held at the South Davis Fire District on April 27th. It's a Saturday. And so if you're interested in that, you can plan ahead for that. Also from Chief Stone, I got the annual report for South Davis Metro Fire. And so I'm sure you'll all get a copy, but it's really interesting. They do a great job. Also, just a report from the South Davis Sewer District. They're discussing ways to finance the North Plant construction and remodel that they're doing there. And in our last meeting, we reviewed rates and a reserve policy for the South Davis Sewer District. So, Councilman Bell, do you have anything tonight?
I do not. Thank you.
Okay. Councilwoman Bradshaw.
Mayor, to piggyback on Councilman Murray's reminder of our benefit concert with the band Toast, the Bountiful Veterans Park Foundation asked that we announce and remind people that they have purchased a series of tickets to the concerts for Vietnam veterans. Vietnam Veterans Day happens to be the same day as the concert for supporting our summer concert series. And so they've purchased a number of tickets. They would like to give those tickets to Vietnam veterans, and you can sign up to receive those tickets through their website.
Through the Veterans Park Foundation.
Yes.
Love it.
Great, thank you. Councilman Higginson.
Mayor, I may be the least qualified person to comment on this. We've had very few action alerts from the Utah League during this legislative session, which is thankfully winding down. There is an action alert in all of our emails right now asking us to participate in a Zoom call tomorrow. I think it's at 11. Councilmember Bradshaw, is that right?
Actually, I think it's at 8:30.
Oh, thank you. Whatever it is, I've RSVP'd, so I'll get a reminder. Anyway, it's about IPP, and as you know, it's a very valuable asset to our power department. It would be great, any who can participate in that and then contact legislators, that would be appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we will now consider approval of expenditures greater than $1,000 paid January 31st, February 7th, and 14th, 2024.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Thank you. So it is our honor tonight. We have a few different people here to recognize, and we're going to recognize Lakeview Hospital, and it's amazing to me that Lakeview, I looked it up today, about 600 employees, and so there's 6 of you representing 100 people each, right? But it's really way more than that, because Lakeview Hospital, it's 600 employees, but then when I think about all the people that you help there in the course of your work, my goodness, it's astounding. And so we have a letter of congratulations for you that I'd like to read, and then I'd love to hear from you, and just, anything that you'd like to share with us about your accomplishments. The City of Bountiful wishes to recognize Lakeview Hospital for your contributions to our city and beyond. Lakeview has been a mainstay for health and wellness in our community for nearly 50 years. We are proud of the successes of your team and applaud you for the following accomplishments: the CMS 5-star quality rating, Leapfrog 15 straight A safety grade awards, Fortune Premier Inc. Top 100 Hospital Awards 9 of the last 10 years and 12 years total. Physician engagement ranked #1 in the company. Health Grades Awards Patient Safety Excellence Award for 11 straight years and #2 in critical care in the state. EBITDA 5-year compound annual growth rate of 12%. Employee engagement always above the HCA mean. Turnover rates, RNs down 49.7%, overall down 13.9 year over year. Primary care growth, 16 to 56 providers in 5 years. Orthopedic VBE pilot for HCA 2022 and 2023. Thank you for striving for excellence in these ways and so many more. As the Mayor and City Council, we thank Lakeview Hospital for your steadfast commitment to the residents of our community. We deeply appreciate the more than 600 dedicated employees that give professional care and support in your facility daily. We are so grateful that Lakeview calls Bountiful home. Thank you.
Mayor, before Troy says a few words, would you mind if I chimed in?
Absolutely.
It's been my privilege to serve on the board at Lakeview for the past several years. I get to spend a lot of time with Troy Wood, the CEO, and Jake Taylor and Marilyn in board meetings. Side note, the hospital cafeteria provides excellent food. It's maybe one of our best kept restaurant secrets. And one of my favorite perks as a board member is the dinner that is always included with our meetings. But not only have I gotten to serve with all of them and hear these amazing updates year over year of what they've been able to achieve, but the hospital is actually in my neighborhood. It's an important part of my neighborhood and an important part of our community. We saw that with COVID in terms of the important information that they were communicating to our residents, obviously the great care they gave to many of our residents who needed their services at that time, and then the care they continually provide, whether it's an oops, broken ankle while you're out doing something fun, or welcoming our newest residents, through labor and delivery. It's really been a fantastic part of my city council service to serve on this board and to recognize the important role a community hospital plays, and that we're lucky that it is here and that it is ours here in Bountiful.
Well said. Thank you. Yeah, we appreciate your service on the board, and it's amazing. I mean, we're so lucky that you're there. So please, we'd love to hear your side of things. What would you like to share with us?
Well, thank you. Mostly just want to thank you for recognizing the achievements of these wonderful people that I have with me. If I can introduce them really quickly. Chief Operating Officer Jake Taylor. Jody Childs is one of our colleagues of the year. She's an OR specialist, does all our scheduling for us. Marilyn Mariani is our Chief Nursing Officer, and then Brinley Child, no S, is our a colleague of the year as well. She's a nurse. Yes, there's 600 employees, and we're proud to, on their behalf, share with you our commitment to this wonderful community that we live in. I'm a resident, long-term resident of Davis County. I graduated from Viewmont High School, class of '89, and I never thought that I would have the opportunity to do what I do back in my hometown, let alone my own state. Hospital administrators are called upon to serve wherever the company asks them to go, and we have 187 hospitals in our chain. HCA is it's the largest corporation of hospital chains in the world. And so to have the opportunity to be here for the last 8 years as the CEO is just such a privilege. And each of our employees is a member of this community. So they're not only just doing their job, they're taking care of your parents, my parents, and us. And we take that seriously. We have a promise at the hospital. If you come over to the hospital and you walk through the halls, you'll see these folks' pictures on the walls, in fact, and it's them making a promise back to you as a community. Our overall promise is to provide the quality of health care we would want our closest loved ones to receive. So every morning when we wake up, we have one goal in mind, and that is to take care of you like we would as though it was our child or our mother, our father. And it is certainly a privilege to do that. Lakeview has been through a lot in 50 years, as you all are quite well aware of. And so we've been climbing a very steep uphill climb. Healthcare in general is difficult, but we have been very proud that the awards that the mayor has mentioned, they pale in comparison to that promise. And those awards are difficult. I want to really recognize that there's only 8 hospitals in our 187 hospitals that have a 5-star rating. 4 is when you put it on the billboard. 5 is when you're really something elite. And then to have 15 straight A's from a corporation called Leapfrog, to have a combination of that plus a top 100, there's only a very small handful in America who have that. That's 5% of the 100. 5% of the 100 hospitals in America that got named in the top 100 have those 3 distinctions. And it's just incredible what these folks are able to do when they're dedicated to serving you all. So it's our privilege to serve you. We're here for you as partners. Thank you for taking the time. This council came and met with us. They had some things on their minds, and we were able to share some thoughts and ideas. Councilwoman Cicely Price-Hewish has also served on our board. The rest of you watch out, because Kate can't serve forever, but we will have her as long as the terms will last, right? She does a wonderful job for us. Thank you for your service, and thank you for this honor. We'd love to. Could we bother you for a picture?
Yes. What would be best? Should the council just come down and we can just come and join you right there? Okay, let's grab a picture. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, it's, yeah. Well, we can move right here.
You stand behind us.
No way. Yeah, she did. Bryce can take the picture. That's right. 1, 2, 3. I'm really good at being an Instagram husband. There you go.
Thank you.
We appreciate you so much, Lakeview, and we understand if you need to go, but thank you for being here tonight, and you're just such an important part of our community. My dad spent time there. I mean, we could all tell our stories. I was there with kidney stones. I mean, it was such a great place to be. So thank you. Okay, we're so grateful for Lakeview and the part they play in our community. We are really excited that we have another honor to bestow tonight, and we get to brag about the BDAC and your 50th birthday. That is such a great milestone, and so we have a letter that we have written for you that we would like to read. The City of Bountiful wishes to recognize the Bountiful Davis Arts Center for its contributions to our city. For 50 years, our community has benefited from the work and play happening at BDAC. Each year, the BDAC organization hosts over 20,000 visitors, 7 exhibitions, 155 recitals, 30 art classes, 50 artists represented, 75 plus artists represented, 4 artists in residence, and over 40 live performances. School tours, winter art market with over 60 vendors, employ local artists, the Gingerbread Festival, and free family art nights have enriched our community. Events like Summerfest add vibrancy and culture to our region and our traditions enjoyed by generations of families in Davis County and beyond. As the Mayor and City Council, we thank the Bountiful Davis Arts Center for 50 years of tremendous commitment to the arts that has benefited our city and this community. We appreciate the countless hours from volunteers and employees that have contributed many talents and blessed us with the beauty and engagement we find continually at BDAC. Here's to the next 50 years. Thank you. We'd love to hear from you. Please.
Good evening, council members. Quickly, want to start by saying those 50 years wouldn't be possible without the city of Bountiful. So we are so grateful for, through the RAB tax, through the other funding you provide to the Bountiful Davis Art Center, and the building that we are lucky to call home. So first off, thank you to all of you for the support for the last 50 years. We had the opportunity to read some articles today talking about the history. It took me a minute to realize that I'm almost as old as the Art Center, which was really hard-hitting for me as I was doing the math of that time, but exciting to see all that's happened in the community. I want to start by introducing our board members, our executive committee here tonight. We have Stephen Olson, the board chair. We have John Edwards with us, a local Bountiful native that you probably know, as well as Kimberly Marsden, our secretary on the board. I also want to say that I'm thrilled, as the interim director, to also introduce you to Serena Ergot, who is our new executive director as of 48 hours ago. So I told her I would speak a little bit tonight, so she didn't have to make things up as she went along. But we are thrilled to have her at the BDAC. She was working yesterday and today by my side, learning all there is to learn, and I think she's going to be wonderful and do wonderful things with the Art Center for the next 50 years, Mayor. I also want to thank those of you who have served on the BDAC board in the past and currently for your help and your support with the organization. I will say we're kicking off the 50th anniversary this month. On March 23rd, we're having a public celebration with our annual gala. We call it Chromatic, where we will have a fine art auction, as well as 5 pieces will be live auction, and we have local musicians who have composed pieces to also play for those pieces with the inspiration that they've received from the beautiful artwork, as well as the mayor will be speaking that evening. But community members, it's open to the public. We didn't want to charge this year because we really want the public to come and celebrate with us. We're working on a 50th anniversary video and an exhibition that will be on display starting on the 23rd that talks about the 50 years. Some of that history will have art pieces, we'll have some visuals. We have an old picture of the grocery store that is now our home. So a lot of really fun sort of memorabilia of the last 50 years of the BDAC. And as part of that, we're also hoping that people will share their stories throughout the year on social media. So you'll see some calls throughout the year to really talk about your stories as we show clips of the stories that we're capturing over the next couple of weeks. So with that, any words from any of the board members? Thank you. Yes, so thank you so much, and thank you for that wonderful letter. It was kind of fun. I got little goosebumps just thinking about the work that's happened at the BDAC. So.
Thank you so much. We are really excited to meet you and to see what you'll do, and we're excited about what you'll bring. And thank you each one for the contributions that you have made at the BDAC. We're 50 years. That's amazing. We'd love to get a picture if you're up for that, and if we can do the same thing, if we can
all of you I don't
have 2 rows.
You need to be in the
Oh.
Yes. Yes. Oh, Gary will help us. Thank you.
Thanks, Gary.
See everybody's faces? Can't see me, I can't see you. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And I didn't even take this.
Yes. Here is your letter.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you so much. Really nice that you could be here tonight. I appreciate it. Yeah.
We also hope that you'll all join us. We've shared invites for the Chromatic event, and we hope to see you all there on the 23rd. So thank you.
What time? What time is that?
Oh, is that 7? No, the VIP?
6:30 to 8:30 is the VIP and the public reception. So,
Okay.
thanks.
Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you.
We are so lucky to have organizations like the BDAC and Lakeview Hospital. I thought it was really interesting that they were both really close in age, almost 50 years old. So it's institutions like that that make our community so good. So thank you. Okay, we will now consider approval of Resolution 2024-01, allowing the renewal of the interlocal agreement with Centerville City. Mr. Brad Jepson.
Yes, Council, this is the renewal of agreement. We've been doing it for 5 years. It actually expired, I believe, about 6 months ago, maybe 7 months ago, and we've been continuing to perform the services for Centerville. This has been increased annually, basically by a cost of living increase or the cost of employment, and it's been great for both parties. We've been able to, for lack of a better term, synergize with our other agencies through this dispatch process. And as noted in the staff report, we also do dispatch for some other cities where we don't have quite as formal of agreements. Any questions from the council?
Do those other cities pay a similar fee too, or?
It's contingent on the number of calls. I can let Gary speak more on how that's calculated.
It's actually based on the additional cost it took for Bountiful to bring them on. And then we have just increased it by factors of COLAs, whether that's, or I should say, cost of living or inflation. So we don't have a uniform system. We were already providing the service, and when we added one agency, it was, well, this is the additional cost to bring you on. And so it's a little bit different for everybody.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I move that we approve the renewal of the interlocal agreement to provide dispatch services to Centerville City.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Bell, and all in favor?
Aye.
That motion passes. Thank you. We'll consider acceptance of the proposal of Design West. Mr. Lloyd Cheney.
Thanks, Mayor. Not too long after the purchase of the property at 135 South Main, the engineering department was tasked with putting together an RFP to secure the services of an architect to help us decide what the best path forward is with that property as we contemplate turning it into a restaurant. We had a good response from the architectural community, and as my group evaluated those proposals, we landed on Design West and Galloway as probably the two best qualified firms. They both had pretty extensive resume in restaurant projects and in remodel projects. Design West actually pointed out that they were well-versed with dealing with our historic buildings, which I thought was appropriate in this case. Just as a point of reference, Galloway used to be formerly known as JRCA, and they were our architect for the remodel here at City Hall and also for the remodel at the Power Department. So we had a really good relationship with that, with those folks, and we had a great interview with them. When it was all said and done, though, the team felt like Design West was really the better firm for this project, and thankfully that coincided with the pricing that they provided in their proposal. There was a huge range from high to low in those proposals, but both of these firms ended up very close and kind of in the middle of the pack. So it's our recommendation that the council accept the proposal of Design West as we move forward with this evaluation, and be happy to answer any questions you have.
I don't have any questions. I'm excited to move forward and ready to make a motion if everyone else is. I'd make a motion that we accept the proposal by Design West for architectural services at 135 South Main Street.
Second.
All in favor with aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. Thanks for your work on that, Lloyd. We'll now move to item number 10 to consider acceptance of the proposal of Ridge Rock. Mr. Cheney.
Thank you. So again, with our responsibility to complete some of our capital improvement projects, we put out another proposal to install some storm drain projects around town. most notably to replace the problematic storm drain on Main Street near Pages Lane. That pipe's in really bad condition, and a few years ago, Gary asked me about projects that keep me awake at night, and that was one of them. We had bid this contract out a few months ago, and the pricing that came back was astronomical. I couldn't in good conscience bring that contract to you at that level of pricing. So we held our breath for a minute, and I'll admit it was a gamble. But with 8 contractors responding and the pricing that we received, I think it's paid off. The pricing that we have from our low bidder, Ridge Rock, is very competitive compared to what we've seen recently. So I don't know quite what to attribute that to, but we'll take it nonetheless. Ridge Rock is a new contractor to us. We've never awarded a contract to them, but Brad and Todd have checked their references, and they come with some good references. So we anticipate a good experience with them. I have worked with their project manager as he worked for Morgan Pavement years ago. So we have some established relationships with them, and we look forward to taking advantage of that and having a very successful project. There's 3 other smaller projects that we've included in the overall bid package, which range in various locations in town, and we need to get some of those done in preparation for some of our street department's projects. So we have our work cut out for us, get things done in a timely manner. So we'd recommend that you accept the proposal from Ridge Rock at the prices indicated in their very tiny bid tabulation.
Thank you for acknowledging that.
Can I ask a question, Mayor? Do you anticipate all of these projects will be able to be completed during this building season or this roadwork season?
That's the plan. Yep. Some of these are pretty small, so
Yeah.
they shouldn't take too long. The Main Street project is the big one.
I have another question. Did any redesign take place, or was it just a timing of bids? When you sent it out for bid the second time, was there revisions to those plans, or?
No, not really. In fact, we added 2 projects, so we actually made it a bigger contract.
Oh, thank you for that judgment.
You restate what south on Main Street is this, or is it all the?
Main Street from Pages Lane south to about, well, 1350, yeah.
Okay.
West side of the road.
With that, I'll make a motion to approve with the unit prices listed here.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Higginson, and all in favor?
Aye.
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 Murray.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item is item 11, to convene to a closed session. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion. I've noticed Brad has acquired a randomizer. I'm really excited about that. I hope it's because he stole it back from prior city attorney. So I would make a motion that we convene in a closed session to discuss the acquisition or sale of real property pending litigation and/or to discuss the character and/or competency of an individual as allowed by state code.
Seconded by Councilwoman Price Hewish, and we will move to the roll call vote.
Jesse Bell.
Aye.
Oh, we do each one of them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's, the randomizer is well-loved. We gotta,
I thought that just started the line.
Oh.
So we have Jesse. Councilman Higgins, make sure I
Yes, Mr. Jeps?
all on there. Higginson.
Oh, aye.
I had to make sure it was all on there. Councilman Murray.
Aye.
Price Holsch? Hewish? It's an L on this. I didn't think that sounded right. And Councilman Bradshaw.
Aye.
Thanks for going along with our traditions.
I'm sorry about
You're
the
good.
L.
You're
Sorry
a
to
good
put you on the
sport.
spot.
Yeah. Okay, we are adjourned to closed session. Thank you.